everyone, welcome to National Focus. I am Tarnia Green. We're always delighted to have you join us. Coming up on National Focus, Bellevue-Chopin's 5th Village Council has been inaugurated. The 2-day Air Access Conference has been deemed productive and 20 graduate from Emergency Medical Responders course. Stay tuned as I bring you the details of these and other stories when National Focus returns. Welcome back. Time now for the details of the news. Senior citizens of St. Joseph Daycare Center were honored by a visit from their Parliament representative as they gathered at their usual venue downstairs Bruno's Hall. Honorable Kelva Daru spoke with the community's elders during their weekly Wednesday meeting. The group operates much like a youth group, taking trips, holding social events among themselves and sometimes with other senior citizen groups. Honorable Daru told the group that at their age, they still contribute significantly to the community.
And hopefully at the end of the day, we can see that you will continue to remain vibrant citizens. And don't think because that you have not reached a certain age that you are no longer useful. But indeed, you still have the energy, some of you, that you can do certain things, and you can even ensure that you impart knowledge that you have to the younger generation. And I'm very happy, like I said, to be here this morning, and hoping that in St. Joseph we can see a bridge in the gap between the young people and the elderly people. And I think that some of the young people in St. Joseph need to come in on Wednesday and to see what is happening there, and even lend some assistance to ensure that they can do something and give back to those of you who have worked very hard over the years to build this community and by extension to build this country.
Zetma Tuse is coordinator of the St. Joseph Day Center and spoke about some of the activities of the organization.
Our day center started in June of 2002, so we are actually 10 years going strong. We started even before the association itself was organized. And so some of the activities that take place here during the center, when we come in the mornings, on a Wednesday morning, and once a week we do it, we start with a word of prayer and song. Then we settle down. During that time, we serve a snack. And after the snack, we usually have some discussions, speak about the news items, what has been going on, what have they been hearing on the news, and so on. If there are any news in the village, we speak about that, anything that has happened recently. Following that, then they usually break up into going to play dominoes, or those who like to play card games, whatever it is. Sometimes, certain times, we go visiting. We visit the homebound members, or we go out on trips. We do picnics to Mero Beach and other parts. Right now, we are blessed with a beach right next to us, so we do not really have too far to go to take a sea bath anymore. But we participate in a number of activities sponsored by the Council on Aging. We do exchange visits with some of the other groups. So there are a number of things that we take part in.
Community member Marie Joseph told GIS News that she loves being a part of the Day Center's weekly activities.
I come into the outreach here among the people because I love them. When I heard about the news and how they taking care of the people, I thought that was a good idea, and I said that I wanted to identify myself with them because I think that was a good thing to be with the people and to give my strength. I come and offer myself as a helper. I did work in the kitchen. I work with them with all my heart, and sickness took me away. That I was diagnosed with cancer and I had to go make surgery and so. But to God be the glory that I'm still in the land of the living. Bless the Lord, O my soul. I love to come in the outreach people because sometimes even when you don't feel like coming, when you think of the fun that we are having here, it's like since you leave your home, you come in with the spirit to laugh.
Honorable Daru reminded the elderly of his constituency that his government will continue to assist in any way it can to make their lives more comfortable. Belvie-Chauper's 5th Village Council was inaugurated on Wednesday at the community's primary school building. Honorable Reginald Austrie, acting Prime Minister, in his remarks, congratulated the councillors for making themselves available for service to their community. The minister also told the councillors that cooperation is the backbone for the sustainability of local government.
Your council has been inaugurated 2 or 3 days before the official opening of the independence celebration, under the theme Partnering for Future Progress and Development. And this theme really coincidentally encompasses what local government is supposed to symbolize and represent. Partnering with community, empowering and progressing for development of community and country. Village councils where individuals bury all their differences, put everything aside, religious, political, and racial differences, and come together with one common purpose, and that is for community development. And too many times, we have those issues that prevents us from achieving our goals as a community.
Minister for Community Development, Honorable Gloria Shillingford, addressed the ceremony, and her advice to them was to continue the work already begun by the previous councillors.
You may have lots of ideas of your own. It's natural. However, for the sake of continuity, I wish to prevail upon you to make every effort to complete unfinished initiatives begun by the outgoing council. And for example, and I think it was mentioned by the chair, there were plans for completion of the back road to create a link to Grenville. 400 feet of this road has already been paved by the outgoing council. I am happy that half of the new council consists of continuing councillors, so it should not be too difficult a task to get consensus for its completion.
She also urged the council and residents of the area to work together to develop their community.
As a council cannot function effectively without the support and assistance of villagers. And the chairman said that to you already. Remember, just the 8 councillors cannot alone build Belvie-Chauper.
Parliamentary representative for Belvie-Chauper, Honorable Kenneth Darrow, praised what he called the spirit of volunteerism in the councillors.
And I would also like to take this opportunity to recognize the efforts of those among you who come forward to serve on these institutions. I want to applaud you for demonstrating the true spirit of volunteerism, because we recognize and we know the financial and other constraints that you have and the expectations and demands of the public that you serve. We know what it is like to have everybody expecting you to solve all the problems for them at the very same time. So I applaud those of you who continue to answer the call to serve and continue to do so with distinction.
Cecil Shillingford, who was elected to serve as chairman for another term, articulated his pledge to support and advance the Belvie-Chauper community under the banner of unity.
I have committed myself to be your servant for the next 3 years and for however long you want me to serve you in the future. Let me quickly tell you, the villagers of this community and the councillors, that the next 3 years are not going to be business as usual. I wish to call on all, especially the villagers, to come together. Let us put all differences behind us and let us put our best feet forward to continue the development of this community.
During the swearing-in ceremony, the Southern District Council Association awarded the Belvie-Chauper Primary School for their success in the association's annual quiz competition. The school principal accepted the award. A two-day conference which began on Tuesday to discuss making Dominica more accessible to visitors has been declared very productive. Tourism Minister Honorable Ian Douglas said that the Access Conference was a good way for affected parties to exchange ideas.
This was really, in essence, an investment conference, an investment in the future development of the tourism industry in Dominica. And I believe that we had very fruitful discussions, and I think that a lot of concrete proposals came out of our discussions. And more importantly, too, it allowed all of the players in the sector, all the persons who matter, to come together in one room to interface and to meet with each other. So much so that I believe that there are some 4 airlines that have shown interest in seeing what we can do about the airlift situation in Dominica.
At a press conference called on Thursday, stakeholders from the meeting highlighted a few major conclusions which were decided upon. Stakeholders included the Eastern Caribbean Civil Aviation Authority, ECCA, the Dominica Hotel and Tourism Association, the Discover Dominica Authority, the Caribbean Tourism Organization, the OACS Secretariat, and a number of airline companies. Access consultant Ian Bertrand from Trinidad and Tobago said that reviving the Canefield Airport was discussed.
We recognize in that context that Dominica had 2 airports, and with 2 entirely different catchment areas. And that if one wanted to minimize portal-to-portal time, one should really take advantage of the 2 airports and ensure that they're more effectively utilized. So that meant looking at the resuscitation of operations at Canefield, which is one of the reasons why it was important for ECA to understand what we were doing and why we were doing it, so that their support and encouragement for reopening Canefield would be understood.
Bertrand went further to explain that cooperation is necessary among travel service providers in order to make Dominica more accessible.
Dominica has 2 broad markets. It has the regional domicile market, and it has the international market. The regional domicile market is served primarily by LIAT in the air and the ferry service at sea. Both those providers have as their core serving that market. The regionally domiciled market is a very important market for Dominica. And part of the revised marketing strategy is to further expand that market, which means that the partnership of Dominica, LIAT, and the Sea Ferry has to be strengthened.
Hugh Riley, Secretary General of the Caribbean Tourism Organization, also expressed how impressed he was by the quality and content of the discussions. Riley also stated that it is obvious that Dominica is very interested in addressing its access problems.
It's clear that Dominica, as the Minister has pointed out, has taken a very focused approach to a problem that is vexing and difficult and troubles the entire Caribbean. And the fact that Dominica has taken such a frontal approach to solving it has to be commended.
Riley also said that Caribbean islands would need to address the issue of aviation taxation, which poses a threat to the region's tourism dollar.
And one of the restrictions that we all have to focus on as a Caribbean people is the perhaps rapidly growing issue of aviation taxation. It's something for us to keep an eye on because we all have to be concerned about the fact that every time the cost of the product increases, it also affects the demand.
President of the Dominica Hotel and Tourism Association, Yvonne Armour, stated that the DHTA recognizes the value of the access strategy discussions since restricted access also threatens businesses on the island.
With all the work that we put in, the human resource development, the marketing, the training, all the other aspects that we put in, without reliable, cost-effective, one-day access and sustainable access to Dominica, it makes our jobs very, very difficult.
Armour revealed that the DHTA is working closely with Ross University School of Medicine since increased access into the island is in the best interest of the school as well.
This conference has also opened up discussions with Ross University, which is another area that we intend to continue partnering with, as we have access to the students, not only the issues of access for the students, but students' families that come and return to Dominica, as well as their friends and family.
Armour also said that with increased access into the island comes wider distribution of Dominica's goods. Tourism officer at the OECS Secretariat, Dr. Lorraine Nicholas, also addressed the meeting and disclosed that plans are on the cards for the Secretariat to conduct a study to assess the restrictions to intra-regional travel in the Caribbean.
The OECS Secretariat has recently secured funding from the European Commission under the 10th EDF program for a project entitled OECS Economic Integration for Trade of the OECS region. And under that project, we have a tourism component. And for the first program estimate for this project, one of the activities we have programmed is to commission a study which will empirically assess the limitations or the factors that inhibit intra-regional travel. We have been talking about it for a while, and so what we plan to do now is to empirically assess what these factors are with a view to providing justification to the political directorate and others as to what we should do in various areas such as taxation and other similar areas that pose threats and challenges to the air transportation sector.
And 20 fire officers of the Dominica Fire and Ambulance Service are now better prepared to deal with emergency medical situations. The fire officers graduated on Wednesday at a ceremony at the Windsor Park Sports Stadium conference room. The 2.5-week emergency medical responders course was initiated by the Ministry of National Security, Labor and Immigration and the Caribbean Emergency Response Training Academy, CERTA. Acting Minister for National Security, Senator Honorable Alvin Bernard, expressed congratulations to the participants.
I extend sincerest gratitude and congratulations to the Fire and Ambulance Department, the Caribbean Emergency Response Academy, the 10 participants in the MFR course, and the 6 officers who participated in the Instructor Development Program for your combined success during the last 12 or so days.
Helen Roye, Acting Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Health, believes that by training a few officers in emergency response, the entire country is better prepared to face disaster.
The National Incident Management System defines preparedness as a continuous cycle of planning, organizing, training, equipping, exercising, and taking corrective action in an effort to ensure effective coordination during incident response. This preparedness cycle is one element of a broader national preparedness system to prevent, respond to, recover from, and mitigate against natural disasters, acts of terrorism, and other man-made disasters. It is therefore remarkable that the Ministry of National Security supports preparedness by ensuring the training of the fire and ambulance officers as first responders. It is hoped that the training will be instrumental in assisting in the development of policies, ensuring adequate plans are in place and are validated, defining necessary capabilities required to address threats, providing resources and technical assistance to jurisdictions, and integrating and synchronizing preparedness efforts throughout the nation.
Chief Fire Officer Josiah Dupuy said the newly certified officers have overcome a great challenge.
The results from the theoretical and practical sessions were in fact excellent. If my memory serves me right, I'm told that 2 participants got 100%, and several of them were at 99, 97. And I suspect it's not because the instructors mark easy at all. In fact, the lowest score in the first phase of the training was in the 80s. And I think it tells 2 stories. One, about the fantastic job of the instructors, but also, and I'm so proud of you guys, how the sort of insatiable appetite that fire officers have for learning. For the participants, certainly the past 2.5 weeks have been a tremendous challenge. After all, you had to do 26 chapters in 10 days. That can be no easy feast, especially when we are talking about critical procedures that must be done in a very systematic way. You are talking about the anatomy. You must learn and know so many different things about the body. So certainly, it must have been a tremendous challenge for you to go through those 26 chapters in 10 days. And furthermore, to get the kind of scores which you did on doing your exams.
Ron Mobley was the course instructor, and he had these words of praise for the participants.
Congratulations. And I also need to recognize your dedication, your hard work, your effort, your extra time that you put in to now be able to go out and properly assess a scene for your safety and the safety of the victims and the patients, to be able to maintain the airway of someone who can't breathe, to be able to do a patient assessment and determine what is wrong with the person medically or traumatically from some type of injury, and then be able to provide the care and the treatment to those life-threatening injuries or illnesses. Then you are able to now continue that care and transport them to a hospital and undoubtedly save their life.
And that's the English segment of the news. We now join McPherson St. Luce for the Creole highlights.
Allô tout le monde, bienvenue à ces nouvelles en créole. Non, moi c'est McPherson St. Luce. Premièrement, plusieurs officiers du département d'IFE et puis ambulance ont dans une meilleure position à présent faire travail ailleurs. Ils reçoivent un entraînement comment pour agir et puis ça fait accident et plusieurs d'autres bagailles qui concernent travail ailleurs. Plusieurs d'autres bagailles qui n'est pour faire et puis travail ailleurs te prend place. Ces officiers-là reçoivent un certificat pendant une cérémonie qui te prend place en stadium Winter Park en Roseau. Acting Minister Sécurité Nationale, Honorable Senator Alvin Bernard, représentait le gouvernement en cérémonie là.
12 fire officers qui fait training à dans first respondent. Ça veut dire premier c'est moun là qui a venu à sous en côté qui ni un accident check emergency. Gouvernement Dominique avec département fire tapé service hard en compagnie qui est CETA qui aide nous avec programme ça là. Ces gens là qui aident nous là, ils ont autant d'expérience à manière emergency avec response emergency dans l'état. C'est des faits, accident, voiture, c'est quand tu comme ça, avec aussi natural disaster.
En notre nouvelle, State College Dominica a commencé à étudier un bâtiment neuf qui a bâti depuis ce bâtiment-là fini. Parole celle-là sortie du ministère de l'Éducation, Honorable Peter Saint-Jean.
Nous n'espérons que l'année, ça nous a créé académique, l'année ça là. En septembre pour mois juillet prochain qui nous qui commencé servi State College. Plan c'est là un bâtiment fini nous que rentrer à dedans et servir. So nous ka quoi qui en l'année ça là nous que commencer servir State College là qui nous ka bâti.
Et puis, ça fait qu'à concerner l'intégration OECS et puis implication et qui ni assez la vie monde, t'es à tête semaine passée à dans un panel qui était organisé par le département establishment, ça te prend place en Roseau. Activité là, bas servant public et puis d'autres monde en général, opportunité pour apprendre plus bagaille qu'à concerner le process là. Yon lot officier en parmi secrétaire cabinet Steve Ferrol parlait à ces divers subjets. Secrétaire Ferrol parlait contre changement qui déjà prend place en service public depuis économique traité et des unions économiques c'est en réalité à présent et puis tout effort déjà mis en place pour implémenter. D'autres officiers qui fait contribution c'était président State College Dominica Dr. Donald Peters, Darren Grell Hord EDU et puis secrétaire général pour Union Service Public, M. Thomas Letang. Et puis finalement, ministère jeunesse, Honorable Justina Charles, qui a créé à ces jeunes femmes pour apprendre au l'État pendant qu'ils ont étudié à l'école. Honorable Charles fait parole ça pendant un match jeunes femmes qui ont engagé qui mettre attention à ces au compte violence au compte ailleurs. Ministre Charles aussi fait parole que le gouvernement a créé une opportunité pour ces jeunes femmes-là si vous point l'avantage.
Mon cas dit c'est jeune moun nan, la ni opportunité apprendre un skill, aller l'école pour l'école ou sérieux. So demain ça dit ou ça ni on travail ou là ou ça doubout et non pas que ça prend pour faire ça yo vle. Ou ça doubout ou ça dit oui, là ou dit oui, ou ça dit non, là ou dit non. Ça important. Because c'est à l'aise à la moun ka respecter ou ni pour respecter quoi pour moun respecter ou. So ou même ni pour faire bitin, elle va vivre en manière la moun ça respecter ou, elle va yo pas ça faire ça yo vle, elle va ou ça doubout, elle va dire stop, là yo ka faire ou kuyote.
Messieurs, mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nouvelle Creole pour à présent. Non moins c'est McPherson, c'est Luce. Voilà.
Up next is your tip of the day.
Hello, I'm Felix Anderson, afternoon, and I'm here to tell you why it's better to buy your bag bread looking like this and not like Diabasak, a pig in a poke, a cat in a bag. Come on, if it's bagged, it's got to be tagged. Let me show you what I mean. Hello, ma'am. Can you tell me what's in that bag?
So you're not seeing it's a brown bread?
It looks like one, but you sure it's a brown bread?
Your face looking like the brown bread.
Brown and proud. If it's bagged, it's got to be tagged. Bakers, consumers, and retailers, please ensure that all your bagged bakery products clearly display
brand name, product name, batch number, net contents, country of origin, list of ingredients, expiry date, identification code, and other important information about the product.
Check the Dominica Bureau of Standards for details. So, am I right or am I right?
Time now for the tip of the day. If you're interested in running for exercise, here is one thing you should know. All of your runs should start with a warm-up and end with a cool-down. A good warm-up dilates your blood vessels, ensuring that your muscles are well supplied with oxygen. It also raises your muscles' temperature for optimal flexibility and efficiency. By slowly raising your heart rate, the warm-up also helps minimize stress on your heart when you start your run. And that's National Focus. As usual, we invite your suggestions or comments. Please feel free to drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm, or you can visit our website at news.gov.dm. You can also visit our GIS Dominica pages on both YouTube and Facebook. On behalf of the entire news production team, I'm your presenter, Tarnia Green. Thank you so much for watching.